What is going on, guys? My name is Lextasy and welcome back to the channel, and today we are hopefully going to have all the parts installed and this car running and driving. So let's get started because we have a lot of work to do. Alright guys, so this is part 2 of our Copart car, the 2011 Chevy Malibu that we got from Copart, that we're going to be rebuilding, repairing, registering, and then of course selling it for some money and getting another Copart car. So today the whole game plan is to get this whole car assembled, get all the tires pumped up, get the oil change and the coolant. We got it all there because I want this thing running today, be able to move on its own. Of course, we don't have the windshield and we have to kind of call somebody actually to get that repaired and a new one put in. Oh, by the way, you guys see the new flags we got going? We got that one, we got the SRT flag, we got the Lamborghini flag. So I just want to make this feel like our place, our HQ. So I got a lot of stuff coming for the place, a lot of things I can hang. I can't really drill into the holes because it's not my building, totally understand. I even got a grill so we can grill out with the boys here. So what we're going to do today is install the used radiator that we got and all the other parts for $200, which is insane. First and foremost, I can see that he left the transmission cooler lines on. He actually yanked them further down, which is cool, and I appreciate that. But we don't really need it because ours are right here, so should be a little bit easier for us to. Hopefully it goes back in a lot easier than it came out. He even gave us an AC condenser, which I don't want to mess with. I don't want to start unhooking this because the AC works and I don't want the Freon to be blowing up in here and all kinds of chemicals in the air. So I'm not going to mess with that. I'm just going to leave that to the side unless we need it, but I don't think we do because I remember the AC works. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Now, I'm not going to show you every part of this detailed process. I might just kind of fast forward through it. I don't know how I'm going to do this thing, but let's have some fun. It's going to be a lot quicker for you guys than it actually is for me. And by the way, guys, if you like what you're seeing on this channel, from racing to rebuilding cars, definitely smash that like button and smash that subscribe button and enjoy the family. And I think you guys are going to love because we have so much content coming. But without further ado, I'm really stalling this because that's a lot of work. And I'll be honest with you guys, I took all these bolts out and I have no idea where each one goes, but I'm about to learn. Nice, looks way better. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, this was a lot easier to put in than when we were taking it out, because taking it out you had to kind of wiggle it in between the radiator fan and the AC condenser, but in this case it slid right in. Everything popped up. I mean, everything lines back up, everything's good. We got the hoses installed for the transmission cooler. Let's go ahead and get some coolant in the coolant tank to make sure that nothing on the radiator, nothing like that is leaking, because I don't want to start putting plastic parts on and then realize halfway through after I start the car that there's a big coolant leak somewhere and I have to take the bumper off and everything else. So let's do that real quick and go from there. So far so good. I'm not hearing any leaks. Check if it's filling it up good. I'm not seeing any leaks anywhere, so we are good there. That we got ourselves a good radiator. Before I started to make sure all the bubbles get out of the coolant system, I do want to go ahead and do an oil change. That way we do have all the new fluids in the car. We already put 93 fuel in there when it got towed in, so I don't have to worry about that. We got new coolant, we're gonna have new engine oil, and I completely forgot about the transmission oil, so I gotta go buy that. I did get the Mobile One 5W30. It is full synthetic protection for engines over 75,000 miles, and this one's double that, so it should be good. I think they said I need exactly 5 gallons. Ha! I said 5 gallons. I think we just need 5 quarts, and that's exactly what we got. So let's go ahead and get onto this car and do a quick oil change. Well, I don't know how to put it to you guys, but I was literally about to get under the car to go ahead and do an oil change, and I realized we got a coolant leak. We freaking have a coolant leak. So I don't know if you can tell, but like midway through there's an actual coolant leak. Oh man, that sucks a lot. And it's getting worse now, so I gotta figure out a way to, what I'm gonna do with all that coolant. All right, so it's been about 15 to 30 minutes or so. I decided to go to the auto parts store and get the transmission fluid that we need so I can go ahead and pour that in there and make sure the levels are good before I start this car. And at the same time, I decided that, you know what, we're gonna continue with repairing the car, with putting all the parts on as well, doing the oil change, even though it's got a radiator leak. Why? Because, well, I've always wanted to try like a stop leak. I want to see what it does and if this radiator cooling system repair kit works. I've never done it before. I've heard about it. You know, I mean, to be honest with you, it's a cheap car, so I'm not worried about it. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. Supposedly it's the good stuff. It was like 10 bucks or something, and you can even see it's got like all these little like metallic flakes in it. So I mean, I'm a little worried about putting all this through the coolant system, but it does says that, you know, it's supposed to help with it and even lubricate the water pump. I don't know how that's possible. So I'm going to go ahead and still do the oil change, put all the parts on here, and then next video, I'm actually going to use the stop leak because I want to see what it does, if it actually fixes the car or not. I've never done it, but I feel like it should be a video in itself. That is definitely some thick stuff right there, man. Whew. Look at all these freaking cobwebs everywhere underneath this car. Yeah, I haven't driven it for a while. And just like that, the oil change is done. Funny fact, there is where the oil filter goes into. So it's super easy to install or put it in there. You don't have to be underneath the car trying to find it or get it out. That's pretty cool. Major props to Chevy for doing it that way. That's pretty smart thinking. I really need to get a lift because this sucks, man. I'm tired of it. You got to pump up the car, put these ramps under. This time I actually had to do it reverse because I couldn't slide in there where that towing point is. Yeah, I'm about to call it quits anyways with all this jacking around all the time. So I think it's time to buy a lift. I mean, we work on cars all the time. If it's not this or that, we might have buddies or somebody coming over. So let's get this thing on the ground. I'm gonna start it up, adjust the oil level, and then we'll go ahead and finish all the parts and go from there. So what are the chances that this car will start on its own after sitting for 10 months? We did jump start it, but yeah, no. Yeah, we're dead as a doornail. So I guess we'll go ahead and pull up the GTR and jump start it that way. Before we start putting all the parts together, yeah, all this spraying you're seeing is because I'm an idiot. I opened the cap while the car was on to pour a little more oil in there. What an idiot. Anyways, so I figured before we start repairing anything, we would go ahead and top off the transmission fluid a little bit since we did lose some in the cooler whenever we replaced it as we've seen it pouring out. So this cap right here, another awesome idea is that this is where you actually pour it in, but there's no way to measure the oil level in the transmission unless you get under the car again. And there's a little bolt you unscrew, and when you unscrew it, then it'll show you like what level it should be. If you if it starts pouring out, then that means you overfilled it. But yeah, I'm not jacking the car up again to do that. So what I'm going to do is just top it off a little bit. So I did get the Dexron 6 full synthetic automatic transmission fluid. It's a full quart of it. Of course, we're not going to use any. I'm probably going to put like a quarter of this in there and see how it does. It should be plenty for it. Maybe in the future I'll check the oil level. But let's put this in there real quick and continue with our rebuild. Boom, got that done too. Cool trick I came up with is I actually took a water bottle and cut off the top end of it and then just kind of adjusted it to line up on the bottom side with the hole for the transmission fill up, and it worked very well. Because I mean, let's be honest, there's no way that I'm going to be able to get it in there correctly. Well, first off, because you got that massive harness right in front of it, and I know I keep saying it, but I promise you, now we're starting to work on the car. Let's do it. Well, this is starting to turn into a project. Well, it is a project, but a little longer than expected. But anyways, got the fender on, got the headlight on, got all the wiring plugged in. Forgot that ground, so I got to put that ground in there. So all that's left is to put a hood on and the bumper, and we're pretty much at the home stretch. So I'm super pumped and hope everything glides into place like it's supposed to. We still need a windshield and a full detail, but I'm happy. I'm happy how this thing is turning out. It didn't cost us much money. Yes, extra $10 hopefully to just fix the radiator, but we'll see next time what that looks like. Whew, we are on the final stretch, guys. Look at this. Everything is in place. Everything fits perfectly. Car looks good. I just got to, of course, tighten everything down yet. I haven't done that. On this side, we got a little bit of an issue. It's not adjusting or going all the way on there, mostly because, like we said, this fender's pushed back, and because it's pushed back, it's not giving it enough space to really be able to adjust there. So I'm gonna mess with this a little bit, adjust it, and then everything should fit in this place. I'm actually super happy, guys. I mean, this car's turned out really good for what, $1,100 out the door plus $200 in parts, maybe $60 in fluids. I have it driving for what, about $1,400, man, for what, a $3,000 to $4,000 car. So I'm excited. We just got a little bit more to do. Slap the hood on and we'll be ready to go, guys. So let's finish up. Well, guys, there's no other way to put it. It was lining up until we got to the hood part. Now it's not lining up. Not lining up at all. We are talking major gappage here. I know I still have to adjust it a little bit, but yeah, it wouldn't be that far off. So, I mean, look how far off we're from center. That explains why the right side of the bumper also doesn't line up. So long story short, we definitely have some frame damage, I think. If not frame damage, at least some of this upper front radiator bumper reinforcement stuff that we got to go get looked at. So I guess we're not done yet. I guess I'll have to call some frame shops and see if they want to take it in. So from what I can tell, I mean, all they have to do really is just take it and kind of adjust it to the left a little bit so the hood would close. I mean, that's usually the first sign is hood. Mine was so damaged in, I couldn't really go off of it to see if it was, bent or not. The frame looked fine, so it must be very minute, but I guess it's just the way it crumbles. You can't take the bumper reinforcements off because everything is welded on, all the aprons, everything. So I guess there's a little bit more work to do. So I'm going to call some frame shops and get that looked at. We will do the radiator repair next time as well, and I'll call somebody to get the windshield done as well. So I guess 3 things left on the car and then a full detail, but we're a lot closer than we were for sure. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you really enjoyed. I have a lot of stuff coming to the content. I just want this car over with so I can go ahead and get something fun and fast. But if you like what you're seeing, definitely drop a like, drop a subscription. Oh man, I was hoping I can just be done, but nothing's that easy in life, huh? Thank you guys for everything. Enjoy your lives, enjoy your cars, and I will see you next time. Peace.